Greetings, our Frederick Riddle here with another episode of Christian News and Views. This is episode 268. This is Monday, and we have great news. You probably already have heard about it, but the shutdown is about to end if it hasn't already, and it was accomplished late last night. And so let's take a look at it. 8 Senate Democrats broke with their party leaders to vote in favor of a House passed continuing resolution Sunday night, taking a major step toward ending the government shutdown. The House bill funds military construction in the Department of Agriculture and the legislative branch through September 30th, 2026, and the rest of the government through January 30th. The final tally for the Senate vote was 60 to 40, the minimum threshold for passing such a bill. Senator John Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, has proven to be one of the Democrats most willing to stand against his party since joining the Senate in 2023. While Fetterman stayed in line with Democratic leadership throughout the shutdown, he had argued for weeks that the party didn't have the leverage to force Republicans to make changes. After 40 days as a consistent voice against shutting our government down, I voted yes for the 15th time to reopen. I'm sorry to our military, SNAP recipients, government workers, and Capitol Police who haven't been paid in weeks. It shouldn't have. It should never have come to this, Fetterman said in a statement. This was a failure. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democrat from Nevada, consistently voted with Republicans to reopen the government throughout the 40-day shutdown. I have consistently voted against shutting down the government because I know the pain it is causing working families, from TSA agents to government contractors. We must extend the ACA enhanced premium tax credits, but that can't come at the expense of the millions of Americans across our country impacted by a shutdown, she wrote in a Sunday statement. With the government open, we can focus on passing a full bipartisan budget for 2026. That starts with a minibus that will restore funding President Trump cut, delivers millions of dollars in critical funding to Nevada, and blocked an administration from future RIS, she added. Unlike her colleague from Nevada, Senator Jackie Rosen, a Democrat from Nevada, had opposed Republican efforts to reopen the government throughout the past few weeks. Rosen now argues that Senate Majority Leader John Thunes promised to vote on the Affordable Care Act extensions in December is a major concession. Senator Dick Durbin, the Democrat from Illinois, serves as the Senate whip for Democrats and was among the most significant defections Sunday night. Durbin also pointed to concessions Republicans made in the latest version of the bill. Today is not the same one we voted down 14 times. Republicans finally woke up and realized their Groundhog Day needed to end. This bill is not perfect, but it takes important steps to reduce their shutdown's hurt. Not only would it fully fund SNAP for the year ahead, but it would reverse the mass firings the Trump administration ordered throughout the shutdown. Now that Democrats secured these wins, it's time for Leader Thune to keep his promise to schedule a vote for the ACA tax credits in December, and we will see to it that he makes good on his word for the millions of Americans worried they won't be able to afford health care in January. Senator Jeanne Shaheen, a Democrat from New Hampshire, was a key player along with King in negotiating an end to the shutdown, working to assemble Democrats who would accept certain concessions from the GOP. She argued that the Republicans have proven that they are unwilling to participate in health care negotiations as part of a government shutdown, leading to only more pain for Americans if Democrats press the issue. With the government reopened, it's time to move quickly to ensure we keep health care premiums from skyrocketing. President Trump, Leader Thune, and Speaker Johnson have all said they are willing to find a way of extending these tax credits. We are ready to negotiate immediately. Hassan also worked closely with her colleague from New Hampshire to secure an end to the shutdown. A record-long government shutdown paired with record-high health insurance costs increases It is not the kind of history that American people want Congress to make. Congress has 1 month to engage in serious bipartisan negotiations to extend the Affordable Care Act's expiring tax cuts for health insurance. My Democratic colleagues and I have been ready to work on this for months, with the government reopening shortly. Senate Republicans must finally come to the table, or make no mistake, Americans will remember who stood in the way. Senator Tim Kaine, Democrat from Virginia, has been hyper-focused on the Trump administration's firings throughout the shutdown, thanks in large part to him representing hundreds of thousands of federal commuters who live in Northern Virginia. He played a key role in placing language into Sunday's bill that prevents Trump from pursuing further reductions in force, that's what the RIF is, through January 30th. This legislation will protect federal workers from baseless firings, reinstate those who have been wrongfully terminated during the shutdown, and ensure federal workers receive back pay as required by a law that got passed in 2019. That's a critical step. And it goes on there. Basically, what I found amusing about this is that they were, ladies and gentlemen, they caved. Okay, they gave in, which was the right thing to do. Um, Trump had not only the power, but he had basically the majority of the American people behind him. So as I look at this, and I tried to dig deeper, but there's not a whole lot out there yet. As the Democrats are reading things into this that may or may not be true, but it appears that stopping RIFs, reinstating some fired employees, and providing back pay, plus agreeing to talk about health care, are the only changes made. Most of these appear to me to have been the only concessions that the Trump administration was willing to make. And basically what it is he played the hardball game. He said, okay, if you're going to continue this is what's going to happen. And he demonstrated it. He did it. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He fired people. It was a hard time, a hard thing to do. But the Democrats forced him to do that. But as soon as they proposed these changes, he agreed to it. And because he agreed to it, the Republicans are already, in fact, they passed a couple of laws in the House that helped to impact this. So basically, this is a big, major win, not for the Democrats, but for the Republicans. They brought it to a close. They are willing to talk. Being willing to talk doesn't mean the other side is going to get what they want. It just means that they're willing to talk, to sit down at the table with them, which is what they've been willing to do all along. If you followed this at all, the Republicans were saying time after time after time, vote on this, pass it, and we can get down to actually putting that on the table and talking about it. They finally got around to recognizing that, and now it looks like the shutdown is going to be done. The Schumer shutdown is what I call it. I don't know exactly what time, whether it's going to be today or tomorrow. I don't know the details of it, but you watch and listen to the news and so forth, and you'll probably find out soon what that is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a victory. Oh, and one more thing. Isn't it interesting that Senator Chuck Schumer, the head of the Senate, the minority leader of the Senate, voted for the resolution? So that is it for today. I hope this has been informative to you. I always try to inform you, encourage you, and inspire you. I don't know if any of that happened in this. I think it's good news to me, and I hope it's good news to you. And so now the Trump administration can move forward doing the things that they've already been doing, making the accomplishments, adding to them, and so forth. And so it's a good thing we got this in the past. It's terrible that it had to happen, but the Democrats were entrenched, and the only way to get them unentrenched was to break them apart, pull people apart, and point out to them, we will talk, and we're talking serious talk, but we're not committing anything to any of your proposals, but we will talk about them, we will look at them. And that's all they were always, the Republicans were saying from the very beginning. Sometimes you have to be tough just for common sense to take place. Well, that's it. And I hope to see you in the next episode.